You might not believe this, but certain foods and drinks items you may already have in your kitchen can actually protect and even begin to repair your aging eyes while you sleep. This is a crucial topic because millions of older adults are silently suffering from something far more serious than just a bit of blurry vision. We're talking about eyes that sting and burn when you try to read. We're talking about eyes that strain painfully under the blinding glare of headlights at night. Have you noticed dark spots, unsettling halos, or hazy patches in your field of view, making it difficult to recognize a loved one's face? Or enjoy the vibrant colors of a sunset, or even feel safe crossing a busy street? I've spoken with many individuals who were once confident, independent drivers, but now avoid going out after dark because they feel so unsafe. Others have told me they can no longer read the newspaper without a magnifying glass, or have simply given up on reading altogether. And many confide in me with a statement that truly breaks my heart. I'm scared because I feel like I'm slowly going blind. Does any of this resonate with you? If so, I want you to understand that you are not imagining this, and you are most certainly not alone. What you're experiencing isn't just a natural part of growing older. It's often the cumulative result of years of micronutrient depletion, poor circulation to the retina, and chronic low-grade inflammation that is quietly damaging the delicate tissues inside your eyes. The worst part, most of this damage is occurring while you sleep. That's right. The very hours when your body is supposed to be in a state of repair and restoration are often when your eyes receive no real support. But there is good news. There's a way to change this. A natural way. This doesn't require any prescriptions, surgical procedures, or expensive eye drops. It's a solution so simple and so often overlooked, yet it is scientifically powerful. It's something you can begin tonight. And in just a few moments, I'll reveal exactly what it is. But first, if this is your first time here, and you value receiving clear, honest health advice specifically designed for seniors, please feel free to tap that subscribe button. You deserve to be well-informed, supported, and empowered every single step of your health journey. Now let's take a much closer look at what is truly happening inside your eyes after 60, so you can begin to take them back. If there's one nut that has been quietly championing the cause of your eyesight and brain health without getting the credit it deserves, it is the walnut. Now I can already anticipate what you might be thinking. Walnuts, seriously, aren't those just for lowering cholesterol? While that is true, it is only the beginning of their story. You see, walnuts are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically a type called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. I won't overwhelm you with biochemistry, but here is the critical information you need to know. Your eyes don't function in isolation. They are a direct extension of your nervous system connected to your brain by the optic nerve. Both your brain and your eyes are heavily dependent on a healthy balance of fats, especially omega-3s, to function properly. But here's the problem. As we get older, particularly after 60, our bodies tend to lose that healthy fat balance. We absorb fewer nutrients, blood flow to the brain, and retina slows down, and the communication between your eyes and your brain, what we call visual processing, begins to lag. This is when you start to notice things like a slower reaction to changes in light, a struggle to see details in dim light, or that uncomfortable sensation that your eyes are working so much harder just to keep up. Walnuts quietly step in as a true hero here. The ALA found in walnuts helps to increase blood flow to both the retina and the optic nerve. It also protects nerve fibers from oxidative stress and reduces inflammation that can impair visual signals. In a sense, it's like giving your entire visual system a much-needed oil change. And there's something else most people don't realize. Walnuts don't just support the physical structure of your eye. They also help with something deeply emotional, mental clarity, and focus. These are two things that often decline right alongside vision in our later years. I remember one patient, her name was June. She was 72 years old, still intellectually sharp and full of life, but she had completely stopped painting, which had been her lifelong joy. She told me, "It's not just that I can't see the colors well anymore. I just feel so foggy." We worked together on a simple evening routine for her, nothing extreme, just a smart nutritional plan that included the right kind of fats. 3 weeks later, she walked into my office with a painting tucked under her arm. It was a simple vase of sunflowers, but the colors were vibrant, and so was her smile. "I feel like my eyes woke up," she said. That is the kind of profound difference that something as humble as a walnut can make when given the right chance. And we are just getting started. There's another nut coming up. It's smaller, greener, and even more potent when it comes to protecting the back of your eyes from the relentless damage of aging and artificial light. Let's take a closer look. If walnuts are the quiet supporters of the brain-eye connection, then pistachios are like the bodyguards of your retina. Now, you might not expect that from such a small, unassuming green nut, but behind their subtle crunch and mild flavor, pistachios are loaded with two compounds that your eyes absolutely crave: lutein and zeaxanthin. You may have heard these names before, but let me explain in simple terms why they are so vital. Your retina, especially the macula, that tiny spot responsible for your sharp central vision, is under constant attack. The attack isn't from anything dramatic, but from daily exposure to blue light. That includes sunlight, of course, but also the screens on your TVs, phones, tablets, and computers. Even if you don't stare at a screen all day, your eyes are still absorbing that light. And over time, it wears down the tissues you need to see clearly. That's where lutein and zeaxanthin come in. These are carotenoids, or plant pigments, that act like built-in internal sunglasses. They work to filter out the most harmful wavelengths of blue light before they can reach and damage your macula. What's truly remarkable is that your body cannot produce these compounds on its own. You must get them from the food you eat. And pistachios are one of the very few nuts that naturally contain both lutein and zeaxanthin, along with healthy fats that help your body absorb them more effectively. When these nutrients are present in good amounts, they help reduce glare sensitivity, improve contrast detection, and can even slow the progression of age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in people over 60. I once spoke with a man named Harold. He was 68 and had recently noticed that everything looked dimmer, almost as if someone had placed a permanent filter over his vision. He had stopped driving at night because the headlights from oncoming cars felt far too blinding. He told me, "It's like my eyes can't adjust anymore. Everything just feels too harsh." We made a few subtle shifts in his diet, including a small evening portion of pistachios combined with other targeted nutrients. Nothing complex, no supplements, just real food. 2 months later, he called me. He said, "I'm back behind the wheel, and for the first time in a while, I'm not afraid of the dark." That's the power of protecting your retina from the inside out. The truth is, most people don't think of their eyes as needing a constant defense, but they do, especially as we age. And pistachios, with their vibrant green color and rich nutrient profile, offer that defense in one of the most convenient forms possible. But they're not the only ones. There is a nut that comes from deep within the Amazon, and although it's larger and less common on grocery shelves, it may be one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory tools for aging eyes. Let's explore that next. Have you ever woken up with red, irritated eyes? Or felt a burning sensation in the afternoon? Does it feel like your eyes are dry, tired, and begging for rest even when you've barely done anything? For many older adults, these symptoms aren't just occasional. They become daily companions, silent reminders that the eyes, just like the rest of the body, are inflamed and exhausted. And while we often instinctively reach for eye drops or cold compresses, the real healing often has to begin much deeper. This is where Brazil nuts come in. They are perhaps one of the most underestimated nuts in the entire world of eye health. Unlike other nuts that are praised for their fats or antioxidants, Brazil nuts are known for one extraordinary thing: selenium. Selenium is a trace mineral, which means your body only needs a tiny amount of it. But its impact is enormous, especially when it comes to reducing inflammation and oxidative stress in your eyes. Chronic inflammation is one of the biggest culprits behind problems like dry eye syndrome, blurry vision, and even the early formation of cataracts. Selenium acts like a firefighter in your bloodstream, helping to extinguish these invisible flames before they cause lasting damage to your retina lens and cornea. But that's not all. Selenium also helps to recycle and reactivate vitamin E, a critical antioxidant that protects the fatty tissues of your eye from breaking down under stress. In simpler terms, it keeps the fragile parts of your eye from becoming brittle and damaged over time. And here's the thing. Most people are low in selenium and don't even know it. In fact, I've reviewed lab panels for dozens of patients in their 60s and 70s who had symptoms of chronic eye strain or cloudiness, and almost every time their selenium levels were borderline or deficient. One of them was a retired school teacher named Walter. He was 74 and still mentally sharp, but his eyes were constantly irritated. He told me he had to carry artificial tears everywhere, and even then his vision often looked like he was peering through fogged-up glass. When we looked at his diet, it was clear he wasn't getting much selenium at all. So we added just one Brazil nut a day. Yes, just one. And we combined it with better hydration and a few simple evening routine changes. A month later, he said something I'll never forget. "My eyes feel quiet again." That's the beauty of giving your body what it actually needs. You don't always need more. You just need the right kind of support. And with Brazil nuts, a little truly goes a very long way. Up next, we'll look at one more nut. It's smaller, rounder, and rich in a vitamin that often gets ignored, but might be the secret to keeping your eyes moisturized and your vision crisp well into your later years. Let's talk about it. By the time we reach our 60s and 70s, something begins to quietly fade from our eyes. And it's not just clarity, it's moisture. It's resilience, and most importantly, it's collagen. Collagen isn't just a substance for your skin. It forms the very scaffolding of your eyes, supporting the cornea, the lens, and even the tiny blood vessels that keep your eyes nourished. As collagen breaks down, your eyes begin to lose their shape, their flexibility, and their ability to stay hydrated and protected. That's when dry eyes become far more than a simple nuisance. Have you noticed that your eyes feel scratchy when you wake up, that your vision gets blurrier after reading, or that it takes your eyes longer to adjust when you move from a bright room to a dark one? One of the key nutrients that helps preserve this collagen structure, yet often gets overlooked, is vitamin E, and hazelnuts are one of the best natural sources of it. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant, meaning it works best when it's delivered with healthy fats, just like the kind found in hazelnuts themselves. This antioxidant protects the delicate membranes around your eye from oxidative stress, helping to lock in moisture and shield the eye surface from damage. It also helps slow down the breakdown of collagen, especially in the connective tissues that keep your eye firm and focused. I remember one woman named Lydia. She was 69 and came to me frustrated because her eyes watered constantly. At first glance, it seemed like her eyes were over-lubricating, but in reality, they were chronically dry, and her body was trying to compensate. She said, "It's embarrassing. People think I'm crying all the time, but I'm not. I just can't see straight without tearing up." We talked through her routines and made just a few simple adjustments, including a small handful of hazelnuts before bed, combined with other vision-supporting foods. No medications, no synthetic tears, just pure nourishment. When she returned a month later, her eyes were no longer red. The tearing had stopped, and she said something simple but powerful. "I can look people in the eyes again without worrying." That's what happens when you give your eyes the support they are quietly asking for. Hazelnuts may be small, but their impact runs deep, helping to preserve the structural integrity of your eyes in a world full of glare, dryness, and daily strain. And here's the best part. When combined with the right timing and a few simple evening habits, the nutrients in hazelnuts and the other 3 nuts we've explored can do something truly remarkable while you sleep. That's what we'll uncover next. By now, you've learned that 4 simple nuts each, with its own unique gift, can play a powerful role in protecting your eyesight. But here's the part that surprises most people. It's not just what you eat, it's when. You see, your eyes do most of their repair work not during the day, but at night. While you sleep, your body goes into full restoration mode. Cells regenerate, inflammation calms down, and damaged tissues are quietly rebuilt. But here's the problem. If your body doesn't have the right tools to do the job, then no matter how long you sleep, nothing meaningful happens. That's why eating the right kind of nourishment before bed can be such a game changer. Here is a simple evening routine I've shared with many of my patients. It takes less than 5 minutes and requires no cooking. About 1 hour before bedtime, prepare a small bowl with a few walnuts to support the brain-eye connection, a small handful of pistachios for retinal protection 1, Brazil nut for anti-inflammatory selenium, and a few hazelnuts for collagen preservation and moisture. This is not a large serving, just enough to gently nourish your eyes through the night. And here's something else. You can pair these nuts with a warm, unsweetened herbal tea, like chamomile or lemon balm, which supports relaxation and better absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Then simply sit down. No screens, no noise. Let this become a ritual, not just a task. Because rituals are more than just routines. They are signals to your body and your soul that healing is not only possible, it is happening. Over time, many of my patients have told me the same thing. I'm waking up without that dry, gritty feeling. My eyes feel calmer, stronger. I'm not squinting as much when I read the morning paper. And they didn't do anything radical. They just gave their bodies what they were asking for, and they did it consistently. That's the secret no one tells you. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters at the right time. And this right here is something that matters. You don't need a special supplement. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on eye creams or blue light blocking glasses. You just need to start where you are with what you have. One handful, one evening, one small act of care at a time. In our final part, I'd like to leave you with something more than just knowledge. I want to share a story and a powerful reminder of what is still possible, no matter your age. A few months ago, I met a man named Richard. He was 76, a retired mechanic, and someone who used to pride himself on never missing a detail. But lately he told me things had changed. He couldn't make out street signs clearly. He had stopped working on his old truck because all the small parts looked the same to him. And worst of all, he had trouble seeing the smile on his granddaughter's face during their evening video calls. "I feel like my world is getting dimmer," he said. It wasn't just his vision, it was his confidence, his sense of control. We didn't do anything fancy, no surgeries, no prescriptions. What we did do was begin a simple, consistent evening ritual, just like the one you have learned about here. 3 weeks later, he called me, his voice brighter than before. "She waved at me through the screen and I saw it," he said. "Her whole face, her dimples, her eyes." Then he added, almost in disbelief, "I didn't realize how much I missed seeing clearly." Richard's story is not a rare one. It's what happens when we stop accepting slow decline as our only option and start supporting our bodies the way they were designed to be supported. And you can do the same. Your age doesn't define your vision. Your past choices don't erase your future healing. It is not too late, not when the tools for change are this simple, this gentle, and already within your reach. One handful at night, one moment of care, one decision to believe in your body again. That's how healing begins. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I know you have many choices when it comes to your health, and I am honored that you've chosen to spend a few quiet minutes here with me. If this video gave you something valuable, I invite you to gently support our work by clicking the like button. Share this with a friend or a loved one who might be silently struggling with their vision. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next insight tip or story that could change the way you age for the better. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Have you noticed recent changes in your vision? Have you tried any of these foods before? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. Until next time, remember that every small act of care adds up, especially when it begins with your own eyes.